course.
What's going on, everybody? This is Samir Azizi, and you are watching Azizi Podcast. Today, we have a special one, an experimental podcast with my guest, Alex. Alex, why don't you talk to us a little bit about yourself? Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, my name is Alex. I'm digital marketing. I run my own marketing agency, ZOV Digital Marketing. So, and he want to share some experience and interest inside the digital marketing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we should talk about sports. We've been talking about sports a lot, about boxing in particular. And, both of us had like some interesting ideas, we like jammed a little bit about the marketing, about social media trends, how's everything working in that regard to brand awareness. And I wanted to talk to you about the event that is upcoming, and it's a boxing fight. It's actually going to happen tomorrow here in Canada. It's Artur Beterbiev versus Callum Smith, and this is a light heavyweight fight for three titles: IBF, WBC, and WBO. And I felt like why don't we just use this fight as a little bit of an example of to show everyone what do we do and what do you do in particular, how do we analyze this from the brand awareness and internet presence point of view? What do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, because like event is trendy, so it's like I check it out. So and plus like we can discuss the experience, share the opinions and other stuff. So it's nice
Yeah.
to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a little bit of a background on the event, and I'm not going to go into specifics, but these two fighters are fighting tomorrow. Artur Beterbiev he's the favorite. He is the title holder of all the three titles that I've listed before, and Callum Smith is a challenger. He is also a well-known British boxer. Artur Beterbiev is a Canadian boxer by the way of Russia, and the whole intrigue about the fight is the fact that the winner of this fight will face another champion, Dmitry Bivol. And so everyone wanted to have this fight between Beterbiev and Bivol, but before that, Beterbiev has to go through Callum Smith. So it's a huge event. All of the fights of Artur Beterbiev ended in knockout. So he is a knockout boxer. He's basically a savage, and that's why there's a huge hype around it, because overall people just want to have this fight so that they can have the next fight. It's going to happen tomorrow in Quebec City, I believe, and it's on Top Rank Promotion, I think. So it's going to be shown on ESPN. So, with that being said, I already gave you some background on the fight, Alex. Have you had a chance to review this fight, and like what is your kind of opinion on that, and what kind of numbers are you seeing behind it?
Like it's really interesting. The things is, I can share the screen about
Sure.
trending, like about the main Google trends and other stuff that
Yeah, let's
going
check it
on.
out. For sure.
So because like it's really interesting and it's really appealing. So what we can see. So it's
Mhm.
general Google Trends for 90 days. You can see that the fight is like super trending, especially in as a TV promotion, not as a search as a topic to discuss. And we can see, I
Mhm.
don't know, this is also you can correlate to some news. I think like
Right.
main announcement was done in December 17. So based on the Google performance.
Mhm.
So interesting. I like as you mentioned about deeper about before about the boxers, like the locations where they are. You can also see the most popular places. Like of course you said event taking place in Ontario, so like
Yeah, Quebec is like a place where everyone's a huge
Mhm.
boxing fight. The Quebec area is the Canadian most like hardcore boxing fans. To my surprise, when I first came to this country, but it is what it is, which is kind of cool. I like that. So that's
Yeah,
why you see so much popularity there.
and also we're gonna compare because you were talking about like boxers themselves, like how the tactics and other stuff. So like we also can see by Google Trends like what like let's check it out right away. So like for 90 days, we also can change the timing to see like how it's trending before event. So like
Hmm.
we can clearly can see that like we're definitely in the times that event gonna happen. You see, and you can see by the comparison of the total like event as a
Hmm.
TV show and as a professional boxers like that they're taking apart. Like here is like
On the
number,
individual level, right?
yeah, the
Hmm.
red one and the yellow one, and we can see that like who is the number one trendy topic for
Right.
that.
So Arthur Beterbiev is definitely like I would say even three times more popular right now based on Google Trends.
Yeah,
Uh, than Callum Smith, which is not a surprise, of course, but it definitely is like an affirmation of like what everyone's already known. So it's just cool to see it in the numbers.
Yeah, but like we can also see like does all the
Provinces, huh?
regions provinces
Hmm.
supports like evenly. You can see like where province like I mean not support, like I mean even interesting, like so
I like
it's
how
not.
Prince Edward Island is like pulling for Callum Smith. That's that's kind of like random. Like why? Like 100% for Callum Smith. Like okay.
I mean we can dive deeper in analytic why it's going like this.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So
Prince Edward Island probably has like 300 people on it, I think. Well, I'm obviously kidding, but I'm
so
just
like I mean so they mostly the supporters
I
of
mean,
that
probably
stuff.
the 300 people will be watching that fight, if not less, on Prince Edward Island.
So
Yeah.
like yeah, I mean we can dive deeper in like for example
Yeah.
Saskatchewan, British Columbia 50-50, almost like 50 to 48.
Hmm.
So like it's interesting insight to check out.
Is it just a Canadian? Have you checked the United States market as well?
We can do it
Let's
pretty
check it
easy.
out. Let's check it out with
Yeah,
the United States because I'm wondering what's gonna happen.
and like we can check United Kingdom, United States, wherever.
Yeah.
Like I mean,
Yeah, the trend is pretty much the same, although Callum Smith is a little bit more popular in the United States than in Canada. So I would say there's like a 2-to-1 difference in terms of popularity. 58
yeah,
to 100, I guess. Yeah.
yeah. You can see the difference now in numbers, like I mean, and
Hmm.
also it's interesting, like we can see some spikes for some like maybe some major event happened. Like I don't follow much
Hmm.
so much the sportsmen to see, but like some major events happening, so you can see the like how it's reflect,
It
and
might be
also
the
you can
press conferences. Yeah.
or interviews, yeah, like
Hmm.
agree. And also you can see how the states support, like what states support, like not support, like I mean
Well,
search, like
out of everything, South Dakota is pulling for Callum Smith. Everyone else is for Arthur Beterbiev, if it looks like. Well, South
yeah.
Dakota is, yeah. It's probably they have like some Smiths there for sure.
And then, like also you can say the breakouts, like the more detailed search and other stuff. So
Hmm.
also we're gonna dive deeper in the search. I'm gonna share my opinion why I think that like how you can even like how each individual sportsman can boost the performance of that information. So
Hmm.
and for example, if you're gonna take like I also about Callum Smith, I think he's from United Kingdom or not.
Correct. Yeah.
So like let's check the like, United Kingdom if we already come back to
That's
the
fair. That's fair. Let's see. Well, I mean, Beterbiev is still kind of overtaking Callum Smith, but it's actually pretty close. Like it's yeah, they're pretty much on par with each other there. So,
yes,
it's
but yeah, I mean this is like the 23rd of December, yeah, like I mean you see it's like spike in all on all three
hmm
countries.
hmm. Yeah, well, I'm glad to see that Callum Smith has loyal fan base in the UK in his homeland. That's for sure.
Yeah, so like I mean, on my opinion, the like Google Trends really shows trending of the event, like the participants and other stuff. So like yeah, and after that, after event, we can compare how it's like reflect to the future going or future boxers and other stuff. So like I mean, this is interesting. We can suspect the all process from the start to like to the end, like how it
Mhm.
goes and other stuff. So in my opinion, it's really interesting, and especially to see even you can monitor like this is that nice things that going on the Google give you a possibility to monitor even last hour, so you can see
Mhm.
like major events, like major like talks and other stuff. So you can see that like show now it's number one trending option, not the particular boxer. Now it's a show that like main point of interest.
Mhm. Sometimes I show this kind of information to boxing promoters, and I just wanted to ask you as well, like with that
Mhm.
sort of data, what do people do with such data? Like what how can we use this data to our benefit? For example, if we are in charge of the show, or if we are trying to manage a boxer's career, we see that trend, we see what's happening. How does this
Mhm.
help us? What do you
I
think?
mean, yeah, on my opinion is like trending, like and it's can all trends can be monetized. So like you can monetize the trends in a different ways, like popularity, like in terms of engagements, ticket sales, even sportsmen offering of the business opportunities or partnerships and other stuff. So like the more trending events, the more the more wages they pay, like almost more
Mhm.
money they earn. Like, I mean, and sometimes super trendy stuff, like I mean, can bring much more value to the sportsman or to the event or to the host than like super small local things. And uh, also it's sometimes it's just give us sometimes it's not give us, the numbers don't give us reason why, like, why, like that
Like there's a spike or
spike.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, why is that spikes happening, like, like, and what we can do to keep it repeat, and what is, like, I mean, this is also, you can correlate data from different sources to see how it's reflect on the sportsmen, so that we can dive deeper in our podcast to see like how it can reflect for the like following fans and other stuff. But by the way, do you know that, like, I find that Arthur, he's selling some merchandise, so
Oh, that's interesting. I
yeah,
didn't
so
know that.
maybe like every spike like this is like can boost sales of particular merchandise of the like sportsman, like, or maybe
Mhm.
he, if he runs his own brand or own course and other stuff. So
There's also like between boxers and their teams and their promotions, there's always this tug of war, like who brought more money to this event, why people bought tickets, who do they want to see, this boxer or that boxer. And I feel like Google Trends analysis, just to see on the search volume, like this is a good representation of who actually, is more influential from the two boxers for that particular fight, right? Who actually brought more people to the arena, who actually brought more people to pay-per-view. And I feel like by that data, historical data, you can show like, okay, this particular athlete is marketable. He is bringing the most, because you can compare the athletes between each other. Um, there you go. You're just putting it from 2014, and you can see that Arthur Beterbiev name is being trended for quite some time in comparison to
mhm.
Callum. But by the way, the spike in red for Callum Smith is his fight with Canelo. I was streaming that fight, my commentary to it, and it has like 60,000. It's like my biggest video on YouTube. So I definitely recognize that spike on December 2020. I was I was streaming for like 4 hours. But yeah, I mean, it's a powerful tool that actually you'll be surprised not a lot of people are utilizing.
Yeah, I mean, for sportsmen, it's actually beneficial to even see that, like, maybe you need to have some exposure, like, like, I mean, and plus, the more fan base you maintain, the more fan base you engage, the more trendy you stay on, like, the more chances you're gonna succeed. Because, like, we know that sportsmen's their career, like, they actually finish pretty young in their careers usually. So, and
Relatively, yeah.
yeah, but their name working for them like for all their life. So, like,
That
I
is if
mean,
they're lucky. Yeah, then yes. If they're smart, actually. If someone is managing their career in a smart way, because sometimes boxers just disappear and they're never capitalized on their trend and their name. And that's where it's important to show them, like, hey, look, your name is still trendy. You can still like make some promos. You can go to like different shows, and you're recognizable, and you can monetize that. And it's sometimes it's not being explained to the fighters.
yeah, I mean, and sometimes like the fight, I feel like, I mean, we cannot dive deeper, I think, like, because I
Sure.
have like, for example, I make overall, like, was one part of
Hmm.
the Google trend search, but after that we have a lot of things like
Sure. What else do you usually use when you analyze different athletes? What kind of tools?
yeah, I mean, I usually use Brand 24. It's give you a brief overview of the social media activity. So, for
Hmm.
example, you can see the same here.
Hmm. Hmm.
The You can see the most popular news, recent news. Like, you can see what like sources are usually sharing. You can see that like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Like, and you can see that, like, I mean,
And that's
TikTok.
all, like throughout the whole fan base, right? Or like just like the media, not necessarily Ardor's, because right now we're looking at Ardor B2B's analysis on Brand 24. But on the right hand side, I see like news, forums, TikToks. That's just overall how people speak about him, right?
Yeah. So, like, it's like trending to particular event, like, it's coming, like, and where the people mentioning him, where they use a particular hashtags and other stuff, like what news outlets mentioning it and other things. Like, for example, here, like, like, I mean,
Hmm.
how does this Facebook post Facebook, sorry, Instagram posts have 22 like thousand likes. Like, you know, people even discuss it on Reddit. What news outlet like are featuring, and like, I'm sorry, and it's, you can see the YouTube 2.5 million subscribers, another 57 million visits. So you can see where particular sportsmen or sports event are trending. So, and
so
you can
that's the list of like the most trendy platforms, right? So like the most kind of like out there mainstream platforms that we see the posts from, right? On
yeah, absolutely. So like, I mean, you can specify like requirements, like for example, you can make a comparison, you can add new projects, you can add more sportsmen or events. Here is like, I just took the most recent one. So like, we can also I think it should allow me to add the project one more time. Just a second. So we can see how to compare how it's trending one sportsman over other one, because sometimes it's limiting me to the particular options. But okay.
And so based on that kind of metrics, like what do you think is the most kind of interesting one from Brand24? Because I saw there's like a huge graph where there's a huge spike, which basically because of the fight right now they're trending. But like, what kind of information are we getting from this? Like, what is this one useful nugget? I was about to ask you about the sentiment part, and I do see it now that it actually shows you the sentiment. And I wonder if we can see that. Like, do people like it? Do they hate it? Like, what kind of thing we have on? Like, it's basically like, what does internet think about this fight? Like, I want to know, like, in like one sentence. Can I know it from here?
I mean, basically, you can do the research of the like headlines analysis. You can use headlines as a part of assumptions. Like, you know, you can see also here like positive and negativity. Like, you know, you can choose, but like most of the news are usually here are positive. So like, it's really very like, I mean, if you're gonna choose negativity, you can see concerns of the people. So you can see, like, you know, like, especially just a second, it's gonna
okay,
be
so you see boxing fighter here and it says negative. What is this? It's just negative tweet.
It's a have negative intentions, like, you know, like for losing, for like displacing maybe some of the fighter and other stuff. So it like the overall like intention of the message, it's like particularly like a little bit negative. This is why
I can see on the second post here, like Callum Smith doesn't use the distance. He's to his advantage. Sebastian Fundora is another who doesn't have. So it's like a lot of like negative words. So that's kind of cool thing to see. Like, okay, I want to see all the negativity about this fight, about this athletes, and you can kind of see all the criticism at the same time. But also like, okay, I want to see all the praise. I want to see all the positive shit. And just overall, I actually very, very like that because you can see the sentiment about the whole event and about the whole show, because that's a representation of the future profits, in my opinion, future revenue.
Yeah, and actually, for example, if you have this is what why I encourage the sportsman to use sometimes tool. Here, sometimes you can find the trendy news about the sportsman, what he can share, and like, for example, from his fans, or for example his support and other stuff, because we're gonna dive deeper in their like Instagram and Twitter accounts. So but here you can find sometimes, like, you know, really encouragement to the poses, like it's nice to share, like, you know, like even for particular sportsmen, not for comparison.
That's a cool tool. I really, really like that. I know another one called Meltwater. That's the one I used professionally before, but this is also pretty cool. It reminds me of the same thing, but that's overall the sentiment and the analysis of what's happening with a particular brand name. In our case, it's an athlete name. It's actually very useful for marketeers. Alex, I want to go further because we don't have a lot of time, and I want to make sure that we get all through this. What other things that are used to analyze brands and athletes?
For example, we can dive into Social Blade right away. So we can like especially analyze like two options is Instagram and Twitter. This is the main accounts that they sharing. So we can see the performance and like of the accounts, number of followers and other stuff. So but
we're looking at Arthur Beterbiev right now for those who are not looking at this. And this is his Instagram?
Yes, this is his Instagram. He's like interesting. Like, I mean, you see, he joined for last 30 days, 11,000 followers.
Which
so
is
like he's like,
yeah, definitely above the average. There's like an interest in everyone's following, which is, I guess that's normal. It could have been better, by the way, but it is what it is for him. Yep.
Yeah, he's like, I mean, he's trending. Like, I mean, they both post a lot of stories and other stuff, but like they don't post much of the media. But okay, we can dive in it deeper and compare it because, like, for
So
example,
let's criticize them. Like, because part of like the services that I do and you as well is kind of like trying to help athletes to improve their social media presence and just
mhm.
overall presence on the internet. Like, what do you see in terms of, let's start with anyone, whoever you want to choose between
I
Callum
I
and
I
Arthur,
have beneficial option of the, even I save it as a option as
like both at the same
like
time.
yeah, yes, no statistic, like, like that you want to that we want to discuss. Just a second,
Mhm,
can
mhm.
you see it on my screen or no?
So I see right now Social Blade RBDB if
Okay,
you're stuck
just
on that.
yeah, just a second. I'm gonna pull up the image of the each boxer to
Sure.
compare.
Yeah, Social Blade usually helps me to determine, like I use it a lot for engagement rate.
Hmm.
Just to see like whether the followers are real, whether the posts are actually are effective and they're spurring some comments or likes or anything like that. But at the same time, like the frequency and the rate, the growth rate is also great metric to see on Social Blade, in my opinion.
So, for example, here it's like a profile analyzer. So you can see that the total analysis of the profile, and especially like engagement rates, uploads, and other stuff.
Hmm.
And like all the boxers are frequently post stories, like, I mean, but stories, because they only maintain for 24 hours, sometimes it's hard to analyze if it's 24 hours pass by. So like I really need to keep track of some period of time to see the intentions of the stories, because they're pretty low on posting actual posts like videos, reels, or just like regular posts, but they pretty good in both sportsmen in posting stories.
Hmm.
So also you can see the intentions, like, top caption words, like, fight person before strong.
Hmm.
Uh, so you can see the most and top hashtags. This is like number one trending hashtag for the
Beterbiev
current.
Smith. Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is
Would you
number
say
one.
so? Would you
Hmm?
say both of these fighters are pretty equal in terms of the frequency of how they post and the stories and all of that, and both of them just prefer stories over posts?
I mean, yeah, but like, this the thing, one is more professional oriented, like, this is the that we currently looking. Arthur, he's like, he has more professional like stories, videos, and other stuff from his training.
When you say
Mhm.
professional, what do you mean by that?
I mean, his showcase, his training,
Okay.
his daily routines, his
On,
fights, and other stuff.
personally, I hate that. Like when boxers do that, I always tell them don't do this. No one wants like I always put I forgot this name of this F1
Hmm.
F1 driver, but like when celebrities, when sports people post on Instagram, I always tell them like post something from your daily life, something that is not sports related, but something like where you go and do some other shit that is interesting. But boxers, they always tend to freaking post how they work out, and I'm like, listen, man, like we watch you work out all the time. We want to watch something about your life, right? We want to be related to that. But I also give them, the benefit because, sometimes all they focus on is fighting, right? And that's all they do. But that's where the advisors and social media persons are important, just like and that's where the brands are actually want to sponsor them too if they do something, trendy, like go shopping or something like that. Anyways.
No, but I mean, on my opinion, it's also like it's diverse. Like first one, like, and we don't really know their audience. Sometimes, like, our audience sometimes want the personal insights, and somebody more professional, they want to have the, for example, training information about how like dieting, or
Hmm.
like, or the path the sportsmen take to achieve that things and other stuff. So like, I mean, this is like, I mean, also difference and other stuff, because, for example, I mean, if you're gonna pull up the second profile, like, for example, just a second, give me 1 second, I'm gonna pull out other profile, so
Yeah.
for Callum Smith. So
Meanwhile, I'm seeing that Callum Sweet only had 540 followers in the past 30 days, while Beterbiev had 10,000, which is kind of crazy to me. He also had like mass unfollowing, not mass, but like he's been unfollowed by a lot of people in the first part of last year. Anyways,
but
that's kind of crazy. Like that's a huge difference to me. I actually expect the otherwise, but Callum Smith is not doing so good.
But like, I mean, Twitter gonna give us the different picture. So like,
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I mean, in terms of following and also interactions with the fans, this is what you were talking. Like, you need to know, like, you need to actually read the comments and see what your fan want to see and like want to know and other stuff. Because like, I mean, usually the page oriented is for your fans, like, and
Hmm.
what they want to see, your your daily life. They want to see your fighting routine, your family and friends
Yeah.
and other stuff. So I mean,
Yeah, that's another thing that I don't want to see. I don't want to necessarily, I'm not a fan of like, fighters posting pics of family. I don't know why, but I'm just like, this is a little.
yeah, but you a little bit contradict yourself, like first you said
I
like, yeah.
know, I know. I'm more of like, I want to see Cristiano Ronaldo buying a Bugatti. That's kind of
Yeah,
like,
I mean, how boxers choose the boxing gloves? How the boxer
yeah.
choose the kappa? Like, like, I mean, does it make individually? Let's go to the stomatologist. Man, this is super good interactive, like daily videos that you can manufacture and keep.
I do want to see a boxer going to the dentist. That would be a funny video.
I I mean, like, and not as a dentist and an account. Like,
Yeah,
we can have the let's jump in a Twitter. This is like
sure.
totally give us interesting like other perspective from the accounts of the current sportsmen. So we're gonna go back to Social Blade.
All right.
Here is here is Twitter of Callum Smith. So
Hmm.
here is like, I mean, we can see the number following
Yeah,
them
80,
significantly different.
86K. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, the posting, they're not much of posters, like, I mean, in
Hmm.
social media or Instagram. Yeah, I mean, but
Yeah.
also, by the way, Callum Smith has the website, but I think it
Oh,
doesn't
wow.
work. Yeah, just a second, but I think yeah,
Yeah, I don't understand.
yeah, it's like he has it on Twitter, but it doesn't
Hmm.
work. So like, it's like, I mean, it's pretty
So he has
nice.
162K followers on Twitter,
Hmm.
and he started it in 2011. Can we see how many posts he's been doing lately? Like, what's the frequency? Like, how's his Twitter doing?
Tweets for the last 30 days.
Yeah, he
Mine,
deleted
mine,
tweets. Minus. So
yeah. So I mean,
Callum Smith was actually deleting
yeah,
tweets.
yeah, minus 70. So
Wow. Wow. Okay, that's someone's doing some cleanup job and following also for the last 30 days, minus 270. I don't understand this. Meanwhile,
uh,
Mr. Beterbiev, I didn't even know he has Twitter, to be honest. I
I
mean,
mean, he
14K.
has Twitter, he has website. I really like his website with like motivational YouTube video on the main page, and also he has his merchandise. Like, I mean, if you want to buy his merch, like, man, just like click on his link in bio on Instagram, and
So would you
also, uh-huh.
yeah. I was gonna say, would you also say so then other BDBFs has a more systemic approach to social media? Like perhaps there's a team that advises him, or maybe there's, he himself does it. Like looks like he's
Yeah.
pretty active.
Yeah, and plus he has Telegram channel, so like it's usually more
Holy
for
shit.
for Russian audience. Like, but
Yeah.
I think he's like, he doing live videos, like, everybody like live videos and other
Yeah.
stuff. So
That's
see live,
crazy. Good for
so
him.
so he's
It's I just wanted to say like it's so smart because obviously he has a huge fight going after this fight with Dmitry Bivol, and what he does right now is he just pulls, like, think about it, 10,000 people just followed him on Instagram in the last 30 days. All of
Mhm.
that will kind of manifest itself into pay-per-views and into the revenues for him. So he definitely is pushing hard to earn as much as possible by just activating all of his social channels because someone is advising him and telling him, hey, every follow is a potential pay-per-view.
This is I agree with you. This is I turn on the live counter of Twitter followers. So like, because now, like, I mean, it's a trending event coming, so you can
Hmm.
turn off live counter for everybody of the sportsmen and see in a live time how the subscribers numbers of subscribers change. I don't know
Hmm.
why Social Blade let you to do it on only on Twitter, but I mean, it's still interesting trendy stuff. You can see the spikes
Yeah.
already. So the
Yeah.
number of followers are changing right now that as we're talking.
When did that spike happen? Like when was it? Do you see it?
Yeah, 13:35. So 1 minute ago.
So 1 minute ago. Wait, hold on. What?
1 minute ago, he get almost 100 subscribers.
Oh, okay. Wow. So that's because they just had a weigh-in. That's why.
Yeah,
And And there's definitely a huge interest, and I feel like, oh, we just got another follower right here.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Man, this is
So
so fascinating. I really want to like do like an audit like that for various athletes, UFC fighting, boxers, or any other ones, as for bare knuckle fights, or even like just like the hockey players. That would be so cool.
yeah, because like I mean, I think if they gonna, this is why I come back a little bit for Brand 24. If the sportsman gonna go from his personal account and like and comment any of the news, man, he gonna attract much more new following and new fans to his page. Like I mean, instantly.
So do you feel like if you are put in charge of like a promotional company or like the social media and marketing for a boxer or a promotional company, this would be the tools, this would be your dashboard that you would be constantly monitoring, right? Because I feel like that
Yeah,
would be it. Yeah.
yeah, I agree. So like, and I also I'm gonna go with, like for premiums for a lot of stuff, because like to receive Insta updates, notifications, and other stuff. Because like I mean, you can see that like we can even check the Facebook ads that running, and we can see that some of the ads, like you can see that they
Oh,
were
wow.
launched.
Are those the
So
ads for the fight on Facebook?
yeah, yeah. For all regions, so it's in different languages and countries, and you can see that
Hmm.
like like when the date start,
And
what's the company running.
I know we only have 5 minutes left, but I just wanted to ask you, like, how do people utilize this sort of feature where you can see all the different ads?
So you can see what is sportsmen are trending more,
Hmm.
like, and how much he investing in his personal brand, or like for example maybe somebody investing in his brand, like for example like this one, this is support particular sportsman. So
Hmm.
you can find out the companies or the pages that support particular sportsmen,
Hmm.
not particular event, but particular sportsman. And also it's nice if you promote your own page for your fans, like for the day of the event. You can see that like ads start in December,
Yeah, it's paid
September.
traffic. I can see like some like Vinny Paz, for example. He is actually, can you scroll down a little bit? Vinny
Yeah.
Paz is one of the boxers who's very famous. He's a veteran right now. But I see like, oh, go back, go up a little bit. Go up. Yep. Right here on the left-hand side. A little bit up again.
Hmm.
Yeah, this guy on the left. Yeah.
Hmm.
So basically Vinny Paz is basically buying an ad. But and what he does here is he's promoting the fight, but he is boosting his post. I wonder why he does it. Either he does it so that he has more followers, or somehow he has like some sort of interest in this fight performing better, and so he increases the awareness. So those are the kind of things that I'm curious about as well, like the motivations and in that kind of expenditure.
Yeah, I mean, we can dive deep in each the analysis, but like usually it's for exposure, like maybe your opinions and other stuff. So, like for example,
Hmm.
or even to showcase your own, like your own interest in supporting one or other sportsman, or even event in general.
Yeah, like Punching Grace, I think that's the streaming service of Beterbiev's promoter.
Mm-hmm.
And I can totally see, as you can see, it's in French right now why they're promoting it,
Mm-hmm.
because they will might be streaming live that fight as well on their app. Anyways,
And
it's
you
very
can see
fascinating. Yeah.
you can see where it's promoting. Like you see,
Hmm.
this post only in Instagram, Facebook, Instagram, and
Hmm.
Messenger and other stuff. And also, like I mean, I did a small research and I didn't find some of the boxers Facebook fan pages. Like I mean, because
Hmm.
like interactions with the fan is also actually really good intentions for boxers, like for potential growth. Like I mean,
Hmm.
you can
Um,
base you can manufacturing content or things that based on your fans desires and other stuff. Like this is also interesting option.
Alex, I see that you have a bunch of other tabs open. Does it mean that there's far more tools that we just discussed to kind of see different metrics of the fighters' brand awareness?
Yes, like we can dive deeper like each time, and also like I also can make a deeper research on like I mean a deeper analysis on all this stuff. And this is like brief overview of the
Yeah.
things that can possibly done, like because you can dig deep, but usually when we set the target, like I mean it's gonna be and after that we can come to it. But like here is just brief overview of the things and why it's not needed and other stuff. And I encourage you to meet after the event to
Hmm.
discuss the changes. Like we have like even the in the day of event we have like scripted the numbers, like
Hmm.
but we can see does it change? And after that, like, I mean, change how? Like dramatically, like drastically or not? And after that, like, and after that, we can even predict, like, maybe you should have the more fights, less fights. I mean, does it bring more exposure, less exposure? Like, for example, if some boxer win or lose, does fans unsubscribe from him or not?
Yeah, that's a good. It depends, right? There's different factors that play into that. Alex, we only have 1 minute left. I just wanted to say thanks so much for being on the show, and I feel like this is definitely a great idea for us to reconvene after the fight and discuss what changed. But seeing how many tools there are to analyze different athletes and performance-based on brand, it's actually fascinating. And the cool thing is not a lot of people using it, so we can definitely teach them. With that being said, Alex, thanks so much for being on the pod. I'll see you after the fight as well, and we can discuss more.
Thank you, Samir. Nice to talk to you. Like, if you have any question, like, drop down me a message. I will
Yeah,
reply.
for sure. I'll definitely also leave your contacts as well under the video. So thanks so much, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good day. Let's watch a fight.
All right, let's watch that fight.